I'm Chris Schembra. I'm Stephen Dennis's intern, and I'm so excited to be with y'all to talking about building a culture of gratitude. I recognize a lot of your faces in the crowd from the virtual gratitude experiences we hosted on the way leading up to this. Who in the crowd was at one of those? Yeah, what? Hey, Ash, hey, Michael, everybody. I do also recognize some of your faces from the gratitude walk this morning down at the beach. Raise your hand if you were at that. Yes. Actually, can everybody who is at a virtual gratitude experience and a gratitude walk stand up right now? Round of applause for these. Folks, thank you. Special thanks to Katie and Miss Ashley for putting on the gratitude walk this morning. This group of people that just stood up have moved their bodies, shown up in the middle of the days to something involving gratitude. And I thank you all for that. My hope is that by the end of today's conference and leading up to next year, we will have the whole room standing up for gratitude. Can we get a round of applause for that? Thank you. I'm excited to be talking to you about building cultures of gratitude here today. It's a topic that's so near and dear to my heart. By the way, this is the gratitude walk at 6 a.m. this morning. It was pretty fun. I think we're doing it again at 6 a.m. tomorrow, so we'll see you guys there. To talk about gratitude, I'd like to start here. If you could give credit or thanks to one person in your life that you don't give enough credit or thanks to, or that you've never thought to thank, who would that be? Take a moment, really sit with it. Now, I've asked this gratitude question to tens of thousands of people all across the world in the last 10 years, and I always notice the same things occur. The first thing that happens is that people take a pause. They come into the present. They forget about the anxieties outside of this room, and they let out a deep breath they never even knew they were holding. Some of you just did that. The second thing they do is that they ease back into their chairs, and their eyes soften as they reflect back on all the people who helped them get to where they are today. And something always shifts. They move from nervous, cautious, tired, anxious, overwhelmed to present, calm, grateful, connected. All in a matter of moments. All from this simple gratitude question. And that shift is why we're here today. We are living in a world that has a crisis of disconnection and an epidemic of loneliness. We live in a world that's moving faster than the pace of our own humanity can keep up with. And I know a lot of you have gotten into this industry because you believe in the genuine power of humans. You got into this industry to create spaces where people can build their lives and raise their families and grow a lifetime of impact, achieving the American dream. And that fire still lives in each and every one of you. I can see it. I felt it this morning. I felt it on the calls. But folks, the world is changing. There are things happening outside of this room that are beyond our control. Your people are burnt out. Your millions of residents are more isolated than ever before. How can we expect our burnt out, exhausted people to deliver the premium human experience that our industry demands if they're forced to operate at the speed of an algorithm? Right? And we're seeing the effect this speed is having. Now, at this conference, you're going to learn a tremendous amount about AI and frictionless technology and increased operating efficiency and delivering net operating income at scale. That's part of how we grow our impact. But for the next 50 minutes, I want you to take a pause on that future-oriented fast dreaming and remember what it's like to be human working in a human business. I say the more we remove the human from an experience like real estate, the more it just becomes a commodity. And I don't want it to become that. I say the faster we go as operators, the more human we have to become as leaders. Let's create the investments to invest in the imperfect, shared human moments like spontaneity and serendipity that remind us what it's like to feel alive. That's what we're going to be talking about here for the next 50 minutes. My goal is simple. I'm going to share a little bit about my story as Stephen Dennis's intern. And then I'll give you a 3-part framework you can use to build cultures of gratitude tomorrow. I can promise you, as simple as this sounds, these things we're going to be talking about now, if you implement them into your daily lives, with your team, with your residents, with the communities that you serve, at scale, tomorrow will look like a heck of a lot better world than yesterday. And you're going to be part of the solution. Are we in the right room? Let's go. Come on. Hold on to that feeling of gratitude that this question elicited. We're going to get back to it across the course of the experience. Let's dive in. This is my studio apartment. It's the middle of 2015. And I'm sitting right there at the edge of my Murphy bed, woken up in the middle of the night, wondering why life don't feel so good. I realized I felt 4 things in that moment: lonely, overwhelmed, disconnected, and insecure, anxious about what tomorrow may bring. And that's not a good look for me. Last time I had felt those 4 things at once was in my early 20s. Led me down a deep, dark path of non-suicidal self-injury, multiple stints in rehab, and jail. And I knew I didn't want to go back. So I thought to myself in that moment, what do I got to do to get out of this? See, I'd just come back from producing a Broadway play in Rome, Italy. And as good as that felt to accomplish a childhood dream, when I got back to New York City, I realized sometimes great success does not equal fulfillment. In fact, just because a life looks good on paper doesn't mean it feels good in the heart. And so I'm sitting on that Murphy bed wondering, what was it about Italy that woke me up to this new way of disconnection? Woke me up to how I truly felt on the inside. Was it how the Italians walked down the street with their hands behind their back, looking up at the art and architecture? No. Was it how the Italians honored history and had a love of language, la dolce vita? No. It's how the Italians ate their food with their friends amongst community. There was this one night in the weeks leading up to the play when me and a few friends gathered. It's this random restaurant right in the middle of Rome, La Città Eterna. The restaurant was called Poldo e Gianna. And there we found ourselves. No phones, no emails, no social media notifications, no calendar invites, nowhere to be other than in the moment. We ate pasta. We drank great wine. We talked into the wee hours of the morning, and I said, dang, this is it. So I said, I got to bring this back to New York City. I stood up from my little Murphy bed. I walked 2 feet into my kitchen, played around with my 2-burner stove, and I accidentally created a pasta sauce recipe. Now, it's pretty good. Who here likes pasta sauce? Yeah. It's a little spicy. Garesh and Brad and Mark would call it arrabbiata, as the Italians call it. And I thought my sauce was pretty good. So I decided I should feed it to people to see if it's even good or not. And I decided to host a dinner party. First things first, though, I had to prepare the apartment. You see that brown box in the corner, right-hand corner? That's my bed. It's called a Murphy bed. You see that white photograph or etching that's hanging from the bed? That's my cousin Anthony. That's an engraving of his name, who passed away in 9/11 as the chief inspector of the Port Authority Police Department. He came to the very first dinner. I had to borrow chairs from my mentor, Papa Tony, because I was just making a couple bucks a week in theater. And I had to go out to the streets of New York City and grab free dining tables off the streets. Who here lives in New York? If you want free furniture in New York City, all you got to do is go out to the streets on the last day of the month and you can get anything you want. Bedbug free. It's like the original Amazon.com. Anyways, we were ready to host a dinner. July 15th, 2015, I invited 15 of my friends that didn't know each other over to my home. Now, 6:30 p.m., cocktails began. Sharp. Just bring a bottle of wine. 8 p.m., I wanted dinner served. And so at 7:47 p.m., now the name of my company, we put the pasta in the pot so that we could cook it al dente. Not too much, not too little, just to the tooth. At the same time, we delegated 11 specific tasks, empowering the attendees to work together to create the meal, a shared human experience. It got them to lower the guard, got them to work together, and it was pretty nice. They loved the sauce. We drank decent wine, but at 7:47, or at halfway through that dinner, I paused and asked this simple question. Can you imagine the stories, right? 300 square foot studio apartment, middle of summer, no AC, toilets in the living room. People had never thought to thank their parents. People had never thought to thank their dogs. Never thought to thank their third grade teacher. Never thought to thank themselves. We went around for hours just sharing stories, just being human. And they loved the pasta sauce. So I said, let's do the dinner next week, new people. Same gratitude question. It worked well. Next week, same pasta sauce, same gratitude question. They loved it. So we kept hosting dinner parties. Eventually, I woke up in the middle of the night realizing this is it. And I asked the biggest question of my life, what if? What if I broadened my vision on human connection? What if I went all in on pasta sauce? What if I hosted a dinner party every week, once a week for free in my home for the course of a year? And so we did. Those are the selfies. Every week, people were gathering to tell stories of the people they'd never thought to thank. And every week, they were going outside of our home and doing great work for our world. We set a simple rule at those dinners. You can't pour your own glass of wine. If you're thirsty, make a friend. And you can't sit next to anybody that you know. God, you're so lucky I'm not making you all stand up and move seats around right now. I could. The night's young. But we set a simple rule for the year. The first time you come, you get to bring a friend. After that, or second time you come, first time you come alone. Second time you come, you get to bring a friend. After that, you're eligible to email in and nominate someone to attend without you even having to be there. Do you know what that does? The people that we thought knew us loved us, supported us at the start, they kind of faded away, but introduced us to people who saw us for who we were becoming. Now, I was diagnosed with ADHD at the age of 5. And I was put on tranquilizing amphetamines every day for the next 15 years. I don't remember my childhood. But the more I spent that year around human connection, the more I spent around the dinner table giving gratitude, the more I stopped focusing on what was going wrong in my life or what had been done to me, and the more I started dreaming of a better tomorrow for the first time in my life. That's what human connection does. And so I thought, shit, I got to go all in on this. So I thought of the biggest thing I could do to let the world know I was committed to human connection. I went to Home Depot. And I bought a box on wheels, made by the construction company Rigid. Maybe some of you have Rigid products in your communities. It was a small but pretty symbolic gesture that let the world know I am committed. I'm committed to gratitude. I'm committed to service. I'm committed to the inconvenient gathering of human connection. The magical thing was, it found me. See, I called my box Richie. And just like the movie The Holiday, we had a little meet cute. And meeting Richie changed everything. The phone started ringing. Fine folk like you started calling us up saying, Chris, bring your pasta sauce to us. I said, all right. Me and Richie, we went all in. I left my job in theater, and I went all in on hosting dinner parties. Mind you, these dinners were costing $40 to $50 a night, so it wasn't that expensive. But me and him got around. This is how we'd show up to the airport. Black fanny pack, cheap Russian vodka, cans of tomatoes from Fairway Market at 125th Street. This was our life. We went to San Francisco. We went to Santa Barbara. We came here to Los Angeles. Woo, Santa Barbara. Charlie Chaplin. We went to South Carolina to show my parents. It's my mom on the left, middle row. My dad's kind of in the middle, just FaceTiming before this. We just kept going, me and Richie, having a fun time, hosting gratitude dinners, serving people pasta sauce, asking this one simple question around gratitude every single day of our lives. You're real estate people. You know who that is. But my world changed on November 6, 2019. The fire department of New York commissioner, Dan Nigro, bottom left, called me up and said, Chris, we're opening up a firehouse in a new place in Brooklyn with one of the rescue units that hasn't opened since 9/11. Can you come into the firehouse and host a pasta dinner with us just to help us connect? Right? How cliche, firefighters eating spaghetti? But I said, yes, sir, great honor of my life. My dad flew up, my girlfriend came in from Manhattan, and we had a damn dinner. Commissioner Nigro made the pasta. The chief of the department on the far right, he was on trash duty. It was fun. When it came time for the gratitude question, I got to watch my dad answer that question by giving gratitude to the FDNY's top brass for how they picked back up our city during the time that he lost his cousin's life. A full damn circle moment. I said, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. See, after that dinner, and I posted it online, I was sent a research study that found, by Cornell University, that found that when firefighters eat spaghetti in the firehouse together, they actually work better together as a team. They save more lives. Something about the simple act of shopping together, cooking together, eating together, talking together, and then cleaning up together motivates personal and professional cooperative behavior. Who would have thought vulnerability, peer-to-peer gratitude is a tool for saving lives and innovation? This is amazing. Let me repeat. Those that eat together save more lives. Now, it's not lost on me of what industry y'all are in. My dad's been in it for 50 years. I love real estate. In a world where 51% of the American workplace reports feeling lonely on a consistent basis, in a world where $154 billion is lost annually due to loneliness, in a world where 76% of us in this room exhibit at least one symptom of a mental health condition on a daily basis, your work is needed now more than ever. You sit at the base of Maslow's hierarchy of needs: food, water, shelter. And I think the opportunity at hand is to double down on belonging, to double down on gratitude that makes people feel seen and home and held and inspired. Those that eat together save more lives. Now, to me, gratitude is something simple. It's an act of noticing what is still giving life within you, around you, and through hard times. And so I want to take a pause, just to take a breath, and shift away from story into three-part action. You like the pause, huh? Good, because that's pillar number one. Gratitude is a radical act of presence. Raise your hand if you think the world is moving faster than ever before. Yep. Boy, oh boy, there's a lot of things heading our way. See, I've met a lot of you, and I've heard a lot of your dreams. And just like me, you have goals and ambitions of tomorrow. Let's move faster, let's be stronger, let's serve more people. That's good. I do too. But you know what I find sometimes? Is that I measure the distance between where I am now and where I want to be tomorrow, and that creates anxiety. Tomorrow is not promised. As a matter of fact, once we get there, we seem to not appreciate that we've done the thing that got us there. And so gratitude is an act of stepping out of the future and into the now. See, our brains are wired weird. It's something called a negative memory bias. Our brains process 9 bits of negative information for every 1 bit of positive information. It's what kept us alive in cavemen days. Don't get eaten by the lion. Don't eat that berry. Don't do that thing. But the threats have changed. So why don't we rewire our brains? Gratitude trips this negative memory bias and helps us go from focusing on what's wrong to focusing in on what's right. And when we can do that, we can dream a better tomorrow. See, I got fortunate. I got blessed that at our very first dinner, 6:30 p.m. cocktails began, 8 p.m. dinner was served, 7:47 p.m. we put the pasta in the pot. And we kept hosting dinners where we put the pasta in the pot at 7:47 p.m. And one day my friend named Andrew came to us and said, "Your dinner parties need a name." I said, "What? Dinner with friends?" He said, "No, 7:47. And not a week goes by that I don't get a text, a call, a voice note. I look down at my own phone. I do a thing. I check out at the grocery store and it says 7:47 a.m. or p.m. These are real screenshots. The one on the left is my buddy Matt, Matt's dad, Matt Immersion's dad. The one on the right is my little sister Kathleen and her husband Max. There's me and some friends. There's my girlfriend in the second to right, Molly. There's an actual time of a plane departure. I mean, the angel numbers of my mission are everywhere in my life. And I love it. But we all have that opportunity. And so what I love to do as a brief 4-minute exercise just to ground us in the presence is hear about yours. See, I imagine that there is some time or some series of numbers throughout the calendar day that probably invite you to pause, to reflect, to come into the present. See, at 7:47 a.m. or 7:47 p.m., if I happen to catch it on the watch, I get to look within and remind myself, I am curious. I am brave. I am grateful. I tell myself I'm a monster as well, but I am worth being on this planet, and there are things I need to bring into the world. And I get reminded that about twice a day, every day. And so what I like to do is set a 4-minute quick timer, and I'd love for you to find a friend and just answer these 2 questions together. If you had a time of day or angel numbers that represented an item on the clock, what would it be? And what is it inside of you that is worth remembering? Right? We got a lot of fluff on us. What does it look like to unpack that and be present? Can we do that? Awesome. So turn to a neighbor, have fun, get radically curious, and your 4 minutes starts now. Have fun. Come on back. Come on back. Shh. Come on back. Awesome. How did that feel? What was great about it, sir?
Just love sharing the story.
Shoot. Luke, or here, talking to my chest.
Just be really loud.
Okay. Oh, here. Wait, hold on. We got one coming. Thank you. What story did you share?
So my wife and her entire family, at 11:11, anytime somebody recognizes 11:11 anywhere, they say make a wish.
11:11, make a wish.
Make a wish.
Raise your hand if 11:11 was your number. Oh my God. Okay, wait. What's your name, sir? What's your name?
Greg.
Greg. Look around. Okay, keep those hands up. Actually, stand up if 11:11 was your thing. Please stand up. Okay. So my friend Jackie is hosting a human connection experience tomorrow around the campfire, and Todd Allen is just a legend. If we could have as many people find Jackie and Todd Allen on the Wova app and Greg Cox, please connect at 11:11 tomorrow and take a selfie. Thank you, pal.
Yeah, you bet.
What's your mom's name?
Becky.
Becky. Cheers to Becky, who is also my friend Joe's 14-year-old teacher. Teacher from when he was 14. That sounds bad. Oh, hey, Joe.
Hey.
Different Joe, but hi, you're coming on next. Okay, who else has a wacky-ass number that they think nobody else would have in this thing? Yes, ma'am. Hi. I'm Chris. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
What's your name?
Abigail.
Here, you hold. What's your number?
0505.
0505. Tell me about that.
My best friend in high school died when we were 16. So her birthday is actually May 5th. So every time I see 0505, I think of her. And so it's really bad to say this, it's actually my debit card pin and things like that. So
don't nobody rob her tonight. Abigail Beach, wink wink.
There were 3 of us. It was Brooke, my friend Amanda, and myself. And so we were at Amanda's bachelorette party, and so she needed me to go down and get ice for her. So she hands me her debit card, and I was like, oh, what's your PIN? And she goes, 0505.
Oh my
I
God.
had never known that she had 0505, and I was the same way. So every time at 5:05, usually at night because I don't wake up that early, it's my moment to think of her and be grateful for Brooke.
What is one way you keep Brooke's legacy alive today?
Don't make me cry.
I got you, Abigail.
I reach out to her mom, and that's just to show her kindness and to let her know that I'm still here.
Beautiful. You're a good friend. Can we hug?
Absolutely.
Cool. Round of applause for Abigail. Thank you. All right, one more share. One more share, because these are going great. I can hop too. Okay, who's up? Yes, ma'am. Ooh, I'm coming to you. This is awesome. I got slippery shoes on so I can zigzag. What's up? 180. Boom. Okay. I'm a psycho. Hi. I'm Chris.
I'm Sandra.
Nice to meet you, Sandra.
Nice to meet you. Sorry, she just made me cry. My number is 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock. Every time that comes, so 12, 20.
1234.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks, guys.
Yes.
And it doesn't have any real significant meaning to me other than I know that I don't take time to play and find joy, like seek it out throughout the day. So that's a touch of whimsy throughout my day. And there's 2 colleagues that we have that I always message them and I go, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock. And they're like, we don't care. And I'm like, ah, ha, ha, ha.
It's a touch of whimsy o'clock. Wait, what's your name?
Sarah.
Sarah, what does whimsy mean to you?
It's something that when I grew up, my father would always say, everything's better with a little touch of whimsy.
Ooh.
So anything we do at work, I try to bring a little touch of whimsy no matter what we do.
It's a big
Cheers
thing
for
in our office.
whimsy. Thank you. Michael Boatman, was that your number? We
both have the same number.
You and Sandra, and this guy, handsome guy. Oh, from the airplane, Italian guy. What's up, dude? Wait, okay, so can the 2 of y'all stand up and see Sandra? Can the 3 of y'all hang out at 12:34 tomorrow? All right, let's get whimsy. Congratulations, everybody. Oh my gosh. So that did a couple things. Number 1, I put that on tight. Man, I just think that we sometimes need excuses to actually like come into the present and get whimsy with it. And if a little number on a screen can remind us, pause, 11:11, 5:05, 12:34, please do it, but don't do it alone. Go find other people who have stories about when they like to come into the present, and actually as a stretch goal, get present at their time. One of my favorite things I did 3 years ago was actually learn the favorite music of my friend Scott. I listened so much to his music, I became a top 10% listener of his music. So then he started inviting me to all the concerts and everything, and I'm like, No, but it's be present in the language of another at another's time, and you'll find tremendous joy in life. Joe Brahman, you're really good at linking gratitude to the present. I don't have the microphone, but sorry about that. Oh, thank you, Michael. Joe Brahman, tell us about your gratitude power hour for like a minute, and tell us the shift from got to get to.
Yeah, sure. So,
Oh, it's not on, sorry. We limit your talking. Oh, is it on?
hello.
Yes.
So Gratitude Power Hour in 2025.
Oh, sorry, guys. Can you go one step back? Sorry. Thank you.
I'll keep going. So 2025, I had 2 major surgeries, and I went from being someone who was active 3 to 5 times a week to 0 times per week. And that was really challenging for me mentally and emotionally. And so what I found was that the thing that would bring me back to reality was gratitude, and it would ground me. And I started to spend time to think about all the things in my life that were going really well, that I was grateful for. And the shift for me from have to get to was really focused around my knee surgery. I couldn't walk around the office without having pain in my knee. And I struggled with like, man, why is this happening to me? And this hurts and this sucks. And I had surgery and I couldn't walk for a while. And then I got to a place of, how fortunate that I can have surgery. I get to have surgery. Because if I was born 100 years ago or born in a third world country, I would just have pain in my knee for the rest of my life. And so I started taking this practice of gratitude power hour, and it's really, sorry, I'm getting emotional, but
What's coming up for you, pal?
I'm just blessed. I mean, you know, I talk about this at work sometimes, but not a single day in my life have I not had food to eat or not had water to drink. We just packed 1,000 bags for kids who struggle with that, you know? Amen. Like I get stressed out at work because we've got sales problems or marketing problems, operational problems. Like, what a blessing it is to have these problems. Like, to employ 50 people at a place that they love to work, and like, what a blessing that is, you know? So,
Dude, come and hug it out, pal. Round of applause for Joe. Oh my God. Glad you're here with us, pal. Oh, hi, camera. Hi, Mom. Joe Brahman, everybody. That was being in the present. Get to, not have to. Appreciate the blessings. Appreciate the problems that we dreamed of having 10 years ago. Oh my God, we're doing it, y'all. Second pillar, intimacy. Right? They say that comparison is the thief of joy and envy is the ulcer of the soul. We have been programmed as a society to accidentally become divided. It's us against them. I want what they have. That disconnects us. Gratitude is the opposite. It is the celebration that you have brought me value, and I want to thank you for it. See, the gratitude that we practice at 747 The Cult is not just the gratitude that you practice alone in a journal every day. It's the gratitude that you practice with others. A great researcher in our space, Barbara Fredrickson, says that to be grateful is to be grateful to someone. That's the pro-social nature. And so this pillar is all about both the giving and the gathering. I want to tell you a story about London, England. Round of applause for London, England? Yeah, it's a good place. My buddy called me up and said, Chris, I'm giving an industry keynote at the AIM version of London. Come bring your dinner parties with me after I give my keynote. And let's do a bunch of customer dinners on the nights leading up to the keynote. And so I found this houseboat on the River Thames. The Oliver Twist mudflat is what it's sitting on. It's right underneath the Tower Bridge in the neighborhood of Bermondsey. Great place. And night after night, I got to wake up in the morning and go to Borough Market to buy food for the dinner. And at night, he brought his customers and prospects and partners and friends to the dinners. And on the third night, he walks in. And I know all of you know him. Arms crossed, completely ambivalent, does not want to be there, only came because his boss made him. And now he's in the living room as we're cooking pasta sauce. And I realize I have the challenge of a lifetime ahead of me. I say, okay, here we go. 7:47 comes around. I ask him to put the pasta in the pot. Nope. I ask him to cut the bread. Nope. I ask him to pour Joe some wine. Nope. He is challenging me every step of the way. But then we sit down for dinner. The pasta's out, the wine's out, the room's starting to come alive, and I ask that gratitude question. If you could give credit or thanks to one person in your life that you don't give enough credit or thanks to, who would that be? And I don't call on him first. I call on Sarah, great share. I call on Ash, great share. I call on all these different people, great shares. Nothing from him. By the time it gets to him for his share, I know I am the most nervous I have ever been. What's this guy going to do? Is he going to leave the boat? What's going to happen? But the minute it gets to him, he cracks. He starts sobbing. He's never thought to thank his wife. Travels all the time, got a wife and kids at home. She is the rock and glue of that family, and he's never said thanks to someone he talks to every day. And we asked him some questions. How might you show her gratitude? We gave him some space to envelope. unroll. I don't know. There's a word there somewhere. And he came alive. In fact, he's the guy that's in this group photo who's actually got his hand physically raised. He had such a good time from that one gratitude question. Now, he went up to my friend Patrick, the guy on the far right, after he got off a stage like this the very next day, and he put his arms around him. He said, "Patrick, I was an enemy of renewing this deal. But because of that dinner party last night, I now consider you family. Count us in for the next 4 years." It's a $400,000 a year account, $1.6 million renewal from a simple dinner party. Now, what's the moral of the story? Patrick and his team could have gratitude bombed that dude 1,000,000 times, telling him thanks for his business, and that guy wouldn't have budged. And so what if the future of gratitude is not just in the giving of it? What if gratitude is actually something that you gather around? Right? We have an epidemic of loneliness and a crisis of disconnection. It doesn't necessarily get solved through solo practices of gratitude. It also doesn't necessarily get solved just by thanking someone in a convenient way on your next one-on-one call with them. What if it required a community approach? Studies show that peer-to-peer recognition within your companies is actually sometimes more valuable than you giving it to your direct reports. 55% of the American workforce, out of a survey of a couple thousand employees, found that they actually prefer receiving consistent acts of gratitude from their direct report than a raise or a promotion. Weird, huh? It's not my stats, but in a really hard time like what the world's going through here, we may not be able to give our people more money or promotions. But consistent actions of gratitude, yes. What if? But I caution you, if you do want to give gratitude to your people, please do it in the right way. And I know this is a word-heavy screen. I don't know. Why not? I call it the platinum rule. See, gratitude given in the language that's most convenient for the giver, you, to give, can sometimes come across convenient, selfish, and authentic, and just lazy. But gratitude given in the language your recipients, your residents, your team like to receive, that's authentic. That's fully felt. That's heard. What do I mean by that? Has anybody ever read Gary Chapman's book, The 5 Love Languages? Yeah. What are those 5? This group, what are those 5? Shout them out. Acts of service, quality time, gifts, physical touch, words of affirmation. Isn't it weird that words of affirmation was consistently the last one y'all said? Interesting. It's usually like the first. Noted. If I know someone likes quality time, I shouldn't send them a gift card. If I know someone likes words of affirmation, I shouldn't give them a fist bump. I don't know. Think about these things. They can really come across wrong if you do it wrong. A client of mine once said, we shouldn't be thanking 100,000 people all at once. We should thank 100,000 people one person at a time. Now, this is the chief people officer of a Fortune 50 company. She's not making that up. That's her policy. No broadcasted thank yous generic to the masses. Make it inconvenient. Learn how people like to receive it and give it in that way. Does that make sense? Now, we have someone in this audience that is a damn master, a Jedi at gratitude. And this guy right here, Ash Damn Bell. Yeah, you hit that. You hit that, y'all. And his co-founder, Michael Bowman. Round of applause for these two. Now, I'm here today because I spoke at a thing a long time ago, and I connected with Ash and Michael on a call at 11:30 a.m. on Wednesday, February 5th, 2025. I know that time because it was 13 minutes after I bought my first plane ticket to return to Rome after my concussion on September 11th, 2023. It was my first time investing in my joy since my concussion. And the three of us had one of the most magical calls I've ever had. Earlier this year, Ash came to New York City for brunch. Went to Friend of a Farmer on Irving Place for all my New Yorkers in the call. What's up, Roy? Good to see you. No, you're not Roy. You're who I thought was Roy last night. Okay. That's awkward. And Ash brought a present. He handed it to me at brunch. It was a Lego. Now, on the call with Michael and Ash, they looked in the background of are you Joni Piccanino? Oh my gosh, hi, can I have a hug? Hi. You gave gratitude to your colleague's 30th anniversary on LinkedIn, and it was one of the coolest things I did in my research. What an honor to meet you. Holy shit. Round of applause for Joni Piccanino. Yeah, that's what's up. Anyways, they brought me a Lego, and I got to build that Lego, and I got to build it with my hands. They saw me. They know me. They gave gratitude in the way that I like to receive it. I'd like to hand the microphone over to Ash. I don't know, man. We're here, pal. We're in it. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good.
I'm not even going to give you a prompt. Can you come up to the front of the room? Round of applause for Ash. Come here. Come here. I love you, pal.
Love you too.
This is your community. These are your people. I don't know. The floor is yours.
Oh, jeez. Thank you. Wasn't expecting this. Just a couple things. So, when I had the opportunity to meet Chris, it was just a few months after probably the hardest time of my life. So, about 3 years ago, my dad was diagnosed with ALS, 82, which is really late in life. And so over just a short 4 to 6 month window, just watching him deteriorate, pass. During that same time, I was going through a divorce. A lot of life changes there, and I just got to a really dark moment in my life. Really, I feel like for the first time ever. And I've been in this industry 25 years. Almost everybody around here I view as a friend. And even as dark as that was, I didn't want to go to conferences. I didn't want to see anybody. I really lost a lot of hope, gratitude, and got to meet you and just listen to you. And it just completely changed my mind, rewired my mind, as you said. And I began to look at that really hard time as just all of the fact that my dad was a recovered alcoholic for 25 years, and I got to mend that relationship. And for 5 years, he got to live just down the street from me. And again, just thinking about this industry and all the time that I'd spent and the friendships, and I know people's kids, and it just reinvigorated me to get back out and just to see everybody and to begin to thank them. And then fast forward, and I know this but it'll kind of show you the rewiring of gratitude. So this week, I was supposed to got dealt some aces when it came to my parents. So quickly after my dad's death, my mom was diagnosed with dementia, Alzheimer's. And so about 6 or 7 months after my divorce, start my new relationship with my now fiance. And we welcomed my mom into our house, which is rather difficult in a new relationship. And basically, you're now seeing a child again in the way that she was acting. And so a lot of patience, a lot of love, but got to the point where we were going to have to put her into a memory care facility. And this week, my sister picked her up on Monday. My fiance and I gathered her stuff up, drove up to Ohio, Wednesday, we completely unpack her new home where my other sister lives just right down the road, and my sister's mother-in-law is in that same memory care unit. And we go back to the hotel. And as we're back at the hotel, I get a call from my sister, Cammie, that my mom has been taken to the hospital. She has really, really dangerously low blood pressure. And about 3 hours later, she passes. And you were the first person to call me.
Right here. Round of applause for Ash, guys.
Thank you. I love you.
Who are you grateful for in this room right here, right now? Not sitting at this table.
Steve, I know it's I don't know where you are, but the first card I got was from Steve, and so just again the acts of kindness and love of people in this room, calls, texts, cards, FaceTimes, it's just amazing.
Dude, round of applause for Ash Bell. Dude, love you, pal. Thanks for being here. Folks, in closing, this is gratitude. I don't believe gratitude is best practiced through good times. Heck, some of us, if we practice gratitude through good times, it makes us look like an asshole. Grateful for the sun. Grateful for my health. Man, screw that. I mean, keep doing it, you know. But I wrote a book in one of my darkest hours, and it's called Gratitude Through Hard Times. And I promise you, I only talk about the hard times for 2 pages. The rest, I talk about gratitude. Now, every single resident that you serve is going through some kind of their hard time. I would argue that everybody you know walks down the street, falls into a hole, learns some things, climbs out, and carries on. But you know what gratitude does? It makes sure that tomorrow we climb out of whatever hole we're in faster, better, stronger than the hole we were in yesterday. Gratitude does that. That's a promise. I mentioned briefly I got a concussion on September 11th, 2023. And the first few months were pretty tough. I lost my identity. I lost my sense of self. I couldn't show up the way that I used to show up, and I questioned what I was put on this earth to do. And the more I sat in these dark rooms trying to capture what was still left in me and bring that to the world, the more I could double down on gratitude to use as the tool to get there. See, every time that I would go into a dark room, what I'd do is I'd take the actual couch cushions from my home office couch and put them in my shower, and I'd sit in there all day. The light, the noise, the head, the everything. And every time I'd go into that dark room, I'd ask myself 3 questions. What inside of me is helping me get through this? Why, I hope you touched on that back in pillar number 1. The second question I'd ask myself is, who around me is helping me get through this? I hope you touched on that in pillar number 2. Ash just did. You. And the third thing I'd ask is, what is happening in this hard time that I can turn into wisdom? That I can turn into a story to help connect with others? And we went out and did just that. And each and every one of you have a story. And I would argue that your superpower is your story. And the more you get in touch with your own story, the more you can meet people at where they are in theirs. The millions of residents that you serve, the hundreds of thousands of employees that you have, are all going through it right now. And I can tell you, after sitting at the feet of tens of thousands of people over the last 10 years, this work is needed now more than ever before in human history. And you were each put on this earth to do that. Does that make sense to everybody? Now, what I'd like to do is put this up on the board. This book, I will send you the PDF of directly. I'm putting together an entire Cultures of Gratitude document because I'm about to go around and meet all of you for the rest of the conference and ask you what gratitude means to you. And here's the invitation that Steve and Dennis and I have. Go out and host dinner parties. Let me pay for them. Let me coach you through how to host a dinner. I will send you the exact guide, and you just go do it for your friends and family. If you want to, you go there, and I'll reach out next week, and we'll schedule that call just to literally give the dinner table to you. Nothing asked, nothing for sale. That's our gift to the world. Steve and Dennis and are in alignment on that. I want to start closing out with this. Back to where it all began. If you could give credit or thanks to one person in your life that you don't give enough credit or thanks to, or that you've never thought to thank, who would that be? Take a moment and sit with it. I want you to yell out some words of how this question makes you feel right now. Yell it out. Anonymously. Keep going. Guilty. Guilty. Thank you. Vulnerable. Keep going. Love. Keep going. Appreciative. Thank you. Keep going. Lucky. Thank you. Keep going. Hopeful. Keep going. Safe. Grace. Beautiful. Keep going. What is that? Deep. Thank you. Keep going. Grateful. Reflective. You see that, folks? That is the entire range of human emotion. Everybody you serve is feeling all of those emotions all at once. All I want you to do going forward is 3 things. Every now and then, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock or 5:05 p.m., pause and remember you're put in this earth to do God's great work. Number 2, you reach out to someone the minute you leave this room and give them gratitude. Do not plan for gratitude to occur in your life, but when you feel it arise, spontaneously give it in the moment. And number 3, know that whatever you go through tomorrow, you were born to get through. You were born to overcome. Gratitude's your superpower. Thanks for having me, AIM Conference. Excited to be here.